Yeah, that's a moment I'll remember for the rest of my career. Look, guys, it was a really hard decision to make sure that I was ready to go here on an Olympic year in March time. But we didn't push the training too hard, and we were ready to go. The body wasn't fighting the training, and I knew I was available to go out and win a world title. And you can't let those opportunities go, especially in a crowd like this.
What was your strategy coming in, and did the race play out the way you expected it to?
Yeah, I haven't run a ton of 3Ks in my time, and so what I found from running the one at Milrose was keeping my heart rate low was massively important and not letting it spike. And so I knew the Ethiopians and some of the stronger guys were going to maybe surge and put those moves in there to really take the zap out the legs. But I kept taking deep breaths when it happened. I knew they weren't going to run away from me, and I was going to be able to get after them. But that's what tactical races are all about. It was just believing in myself, and I have a lot of that. And the training was there today, so I knew I had something left in that last 100.
Did you when was the first time you responded to a move, you feel like, in that race?
In the last kind of 7 laps or so, it was just like they could make a real run at home from this far out, so I needed to make sure I was a little bit closer than I was. I was a bit annoyed how far back I was. I kept shaking my head, being like, you're not in the position you want to be, but you've got to accept that sometimes, and I have a massive amount of confidence in myself, and I knew I was really strong today, so I knew they weren't going to run away from me. I needed to stay close, but they weren't going to run away. But it probably wasn't the cleanest race I've ever had, but I had to keep telling for that last 100, to be honest.
Yeah.
Josh, who'd you run to in the crowd after you won?
I stole this off a child, and I have to find her and give it back. She's got signatures that aren't mine on it. Sorry. I don't know. I was just, I didn't know where my family were, my parents or anything like that, but I was just, the crowd deserved to have, a fantastic celebration, and they came out here in the thousands, so that was my job, is go out and perform and then go out and enjoy it with them. It was really fun, and I spent a lot of energy doing that, but, I'm pretty knackered now.
Not a fair question, but how is winning on home soil like this compared to world title in Budapest?
It's just sinking in now, so yeah, it was a much more knowledgeable crowd of me and my process, and I haven't raced here probably in about 10 years. I think it was one of my last races before I went to the US back in 2015. I ran 9 minutes 11 seconds on a 3K on this track, so it's been a long time coming. I put 9 years worth of work to come back to this crowd and show them what I was capable of, and those are the moments that excite me, and coming home and doing that in front of a home crowd, they're hopefully they accept me back being a Scottish boy, and I'm excited about showing that off and hopefully inspire that generation of kids coming through now.
Josh, do you know what you do between now and Paris?
I've signed up for another couple of races that I hope you guys are excited about. That will be coming out in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure. The head-to-heads will be flying, and the 1500 is one of the most talked about events right now, and I'm looking for that to continue. I'm not afraid to lose. I'm not afraid to take large swings at big races, so I'm excited to go after fast times, and hopefully that's British records for me. But it's all about August 6th there in the Paris Olympics. But these are the big moments that you need to continue to put together, and it's taken a lot of effort from my whole team around me, and Danny peaking me perfectly well for that today, and it's a very memorable experience.
There were some good guys in this race, and you won pretty convincingly in the end. What kind of statement do you think this makes as we head out towards the outdoor season and the Olympics?
Yeah, for me, it's just, can I keep wrapping up these world titles? And this is the athlete I've always wanted to be, and I felt like I could be. Well done. It's really hard to do. It's mentally very draining, but today was probably the least nervous I've been, because that crowd was mine, and I knew that I had my people behind me, and I was just ready and excited. I was like a kid on Christmas Eve last night, just being like, I felt like I had a secret in my head all day. It's like, I know I'm going to win this world title, and I hope everyone's excited and ready to see it.
Do you think Jakob saw it? And how do you think he reacted to it?
I'm not sure if he watches BBC Two, but I'm putting these performances together for myself, not anyone else, and I'm really just becoming the athlete I always wanted to be. It's taken a long process to get here, through the UK system, through the NCAA, and through the professional scene. Back in 2017, I stepped on it and failed in front of a British crowd, and a good 8-9 years later, I'm able to put a performance on like that. So yeah, it's been a long process.
But do you watch, like, when you're not on idling, do you watch it yourself to see what other guys are doing?
I keep up to date, and I'm knowledgeable on what everyone's doing, but my training is very different to a lot of the other top guys. I don't run a ton of mileage. I don't do these double workouts or anything like that. I've done pretty much the same training since I turned professional with Danny. He's written every single one of my training sessions since then, and it hasn't really changed. I'm a 6-day-a-week guy, 70 miles, and I'm somehow able to run the 3K, but that step up to the 5K seems to be a little bit slow at the moment, but we'll find it someday.
You think Oakley makes any blindfolds?
We're having a bit of fun back and forth, aren't we? So hopefully it keeps you guys interested, but I'm more looking forward to the heads-to-heads and not the comments. And again, it's a bit of fun, isn't it?
Training philosophy. Why do you keep holding on to what you've been doing for so long? I mean,
consistency is the name of the game. I think it's why the top runners are the top runners. You know, I don't think any of us have really taken a large hiatus away from the sport. It's very difficult to stay consistent, and my body's ready and available for these major championships. So yeah, I'm excited and putting performances together I'm proud of, and I don't feel like I'm leaving anything on the table. So my body's, you know, able to have the rest, and it's also able to go out and get after these big championships.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Do you feel any pressure as you're competing on home soil? Do you feel any pressure coming into the race?
Not really. This is my crowd, and I was ready to go after it. So it's all right.